Alright, hi, I'm Avery or Hazel or Kylie.
Hello, I am Lily.
And I'm too space to die.
Hello and
Today welcome to From the Closet podcast, and today we are re-recording our Camp Season 4 episode 2 days before it's set to release. I love rushing these.
Apparently I thought Iron Man 2 just wasn't rushed enough.
For real. But yeah, okay, so before we get into it, we have already spun the wheel for what TV show to cover next. I believe it was Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated.
It was.
Okay, yeah, and from this point forward, the TV wheel will no longer be a thing.
Hooray!
So I say from this point forward, but for you guys, we will have spun the wheel again in November, and it will have landed on Dragon Ball Z Abridged. So we're still committed to doing that, but as of this date in recording, the TV wheel is no longer a thing.
And we're going to do the Infinity Train episodes on the date that they were supposed to release.
Yeah. Same with Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated, and same with Dragon Ball Z Abridged.
Hooray! Bi-weekly!
Yeah, and the other thing is that this podcast is now officially becoming a bi-weekly release. There were some times when we would release 2 episodes in 1 week, but now it's going to be every week we release 2 episodes in 1 week.
Also, we are now sponsored by My Stupidity.
And Anchor FM.
Mostly My Stupidity.
And if you guys can hear the my air conditioner running in the background, deal with it. It's the middle of summer in Alabama, and I'm not turning it off.
Yeah, we wouldn't want Avery to melt.
But yeah, anyway, today we are covering Camp Season 4. And I gotta just make a little bit of a vent before we, get into covering it. By the way, you can watch this on RoosterTeeth. I don't think there's a way for me to provide a link to purchase it, so I'll probably just have to link the RoosterTeeth page for it.
Yeah, and there's not even a way to watch it on YouTube. This is like one of the only seasons that hasn't been put on YouTube.
But my vent is that I went to go read summaries of these episodes because I didn't want to watch the entire season again in order to do this podcast again. But the summaries of these episodes on the Camp Wiki literally take longer to read than actually watching the episode.
I mean, you went to the wiki.
They should be much shorter than that. But yeah, going forward.
I seen a wiki article drag on what a chair is for
that's
multiple
Wikipedia. We're not talking about Wikipedia. We are talking about a fan-run webpage.
I'm just saying, people can stretch out definitions for a long time.
Yeah, but your point is completely moot because you were looking at a literal encyclopedia.
Still a lot of paragraphs on just a chair.
Yeah, that's the point of an encyclopedia.
Jesus, even worse.
But anyway, going forward, there will be spoilers for Camp. All right, you have been warned. Not that it really matters that much. All right. What's the first episode?
You never. Anyway, the keep the change. Who's good? Um, Cameron wants to be good, and
Okay, yeah.
David is like everyone can change.
Yeah, and it turns out, David's right because, he became shitty. Like, I
Yeah,
don't know. It just seemed kind of I think everyone probably saw the twist coming before Max called it out. It just seemed okay. I kind of also agree with Nikki and Neil. It just seems really odd for Max to say that people can't change.
yeah. I guess Max just wants to live in his, in his delusions that he is still the same Max from season 1.
Yeah, but overall, this episode was okay. Next.
Which, now that I think about it, this is just the pointless, comedy show, right?
Yeah,
Have the characters actually changed more than Gravity Falls?
probably.
Wow.
At least most of them. Like, I don't
Yeah,
know.
I guess.
Stan, you could say Stan changed quite a bit in Gravity Falls, but
Oh, yeah, that's true. I mean, like, at least a lot of the characters go through some growth, which is, I can't say the same for Mabel.
or Dipper.
Or,
I
actually,
mean, let's be honest. It's
the
really just Mabel and Dipper. Who cared that? Like, Wendy didn't get as much screen time, and neither did Seuss.
and Seuss just remains Seuss throughout the entire show.
Yeah, but at least Seuss didn't have things that infuriated me throughout the entire show.
Seuss is Seuss. Anyway, the
Yeah,
Nerfs
and
attacked.
neither did Wendy. To be fair,
Yeah.
like it's really just Dipple and Dipple. Yeah, it's really just Dipper and Mabel that are the problem. But yeah, episode 2,
The Nerfs attack.
the nurse attack. Is that when?
Yeah, the 3D, the unrealistic 3D printer that can
Oh,
copy
I
organic
was
life forms.
literally going to ask something completely different. I thought it was going to be, was that the episode where David and Gwen got sick and Harrison and the quartermaster prevented an apocalypse? Okay, yeah, absolutely unrealistic 3D printer, played out, clones turning against the original. They even call it as, being a played out cliche, and then they still do it anyway without really any attempt to do anything original out of it.
I want to say that, especially how the um the clones never really attacked the original. They just attacked the friends, and the original's like, bro, that's not cool. So the original attacks instead, and quite effectively.
Still, it's just not.
No, the entire clone thing is what got me. It's like,
Yeah,
wow, a 3D printer, organic life. Fuck.
creating a hadron collider. God, now I'm trying to imagine what havoc a 3D hadron collider would cause when it inevitably breaks and shatters into like a billion pieces.
Oh god. For context, I
But
actually
yeah,
own a 3D printer. I can't make anything with that. Like,
yeah. This episode is either bad or okay at best.
who peed in the lake? Apparently we needed another Scooby-Doo like mystery. Or no,
Yeah,
this
I
was
mean,
more of a noir mystery.
okay, so it's kind of wild to me how Max reached the conclusion that he did, but overall, I don't really find like bathroom humor to be that funny. So this wasn't really that great of an episode for me. In fact, I would say this is one of the episodes I didn't like.
Hmm. And it's kind of interesting just to see Max think. I don't know. I've always liked shows. I need to watch more detective shows.
I mean, yeah.
Other than that, yeah, not very good. Nikki has a wild series of adventures with unexpected but supportive pair of campers.
See, I really liked this episode
I just wanted to say
because,
the description, not the not the title.
yeah, I really like this episode because it gives a little bit emphasis on little more of a dimension to each character because they're still very one-dimensional. But it is nice to see. For one, it's nice to see women supporting women, because you have that dynamic between Neris and Nikki. It's nice to see more of Dolph in a situation where it's not just the joke is that he's German. But yeah, I'm glad we didn't see much of Max and Neil's adventure, whatever the hell they were doing that episode.
I don't know. It actually seemed a little bit interesting.
It's not that it wasn't interesting, it's that a departure from the norm is usually a good thing. I mean,
Yeah,
people,
that
okay,
is true.
referring to Avatar The Last Airbender, a lot of people's favorite episode is Zuko alone. I don't think Aang even appears in that episode at all, or like Team Avatar in general, and if they do, it's at the very, very end.
I know Max is still in this episode, but like the episode that I kind of liked. I don't know. I really liked the episode where Max and the other leaders of the was
Is that the next episode?
No, we have to get through the quarter moon conversions.
Okay, is that the one where David and Gwen get sick and Harrison and the quartermaster prevent the apocalypse?
Yes.
Okay, so this one was kind of a strange episode. Neil taking the lead and getting dunked on, I don't know, that just kind of was a little bit weird to me. It would seem logical that he would be able to figure out where he was going in the woods, but it would also seem logical that Nikki would, and like that she would pay attention in what was it, forest navigation camp.
I feel like they were going in wrong ways because of the meteorite curse or whatever, because they were only able to find it when the curse was lifted. At least that's what I got from it.
But yeah, quartermaster is weird. Harrison is Harrison's rightfully weird. Yeah, Harrison's rightfully weirded out by the weird master. Yeah.
Oh, and his brother says hi.
Yeah. So this was an overall meh episode. Next.
Follow the leader.
Okay. This is the one where the leader of the Wood Scouts, the leader of the Wood Scouts, Sasha, and Max team up to try to find a bottle of alcohol.
99%.
Yeah. I mean, at that point, you're just drinking straight alcohol.
Okay, but I did kind of like the joke where he was drinking something, slams on the ground. I was like, 98% cheap crap. I don't
Yeah,
know.
but
Just
I like the dynamic, like how they played off of each other. It was really interesting. It was also really cool to see, Sasha's, knowledge in herbology. I also loved the joke where she was like, where somebody, I can't remember which one of them said it, but one of them was like, "Aren't you 10?" And she responds, "That's what you think." Like that joke, that joke hit different. I also love the fact that they were gone for 6 whole ass days.
well, yeah, Nikki needed enough time to start digging to China.
For real. But yeah, really solid, strong episode. I'd say it's, the earlier episode with Nikki, Neris, and Dolph as the main focus was pretty
Mhm.
good, definitely solid. But I would say this episode might be the best one in the season,
Really,
maybe.
I love this episode. It's actually really good. Um, they have Preston's good plays, good play.
Uh,
Best part was
okay,
the
so this
4 hour
episode hurt.
runtime.
Sorry, what?
I was just quoting it.
Oh,
Best part
this
4 hour
episode was a
runtime.
lot harder to. This episode was a lot harder to rewatch than it was to watch, and I think that may be true for the majority of the show. Camp, it's like it's really fun to watch, but rewatching it can kind of be a pain.
Oh, here to that. They're really, and I really was trying to look for like compilation videos. I found one, and that's where I'm going with. Like,
Yeah,
Jesus.
I ended up finding a reaction series and just putting it on 2 times speed, skipping straight to the reaction and then hitting the next button whenever it was over.
Mm-hmm.
Just watched it on 2 times speed, including the intro song, and it really didn't feel like the intro song changed that much from putting it on 2 times speed.
Huh. Oh, while we're in the middle of the episodes, actually, this is something I never said during our original recording on how
And what's that?
the intro song actually, the animation changed in season 4. It wasn't,
I believe you actually did mention that.
I forgot to mention one of my favorite parts about it. Is while Max got, because I was focusing straight on Max in that episode, is Max was more interactive with that. I completely forgot about how David was retracted from all that. Even like when he goes to salute to the flag, he no longer has a glow in his eyes.
Ooh, actually, okay, I may take back what I said a little bit about the leadership episode being the best in the season. Because I don't know, it's between that one and another one.
I feel like I know which one you're going for. Anyway. Also, just the animation and the movement have been really polished up as well.
Yeah. So what's our next episode?
After Hours.
Yeah, you're gonna have to specify.
Oh, yeah, sorry. After the campers go to sleep, the grown-ups must deal with the variety of issues. It is the one where Gwen has to take the quartermaster out, and then the
Oh, okay. This is the one where like the quartermaster is trying to get supplies for the camp, and then
potatoes.
that still supplies.
Yeah. Well, I said potatoes
Uh,
in a quotation. um,
Also, the word you were looking for earlier was variety,
hmm.
not verity.
Did I say Verity?
That's a
Oh well.
lake in Pokemon. Lake Verity.
Ooh, should visit.
But yeah. So it's really interesting how the people that Gwen, deemed as like the quartermaster's shady friends, actually ended up being her internet friends. I thought that was really hilarious. And it allowed them to get their supplies easier.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what David was doing this episode.
Oh, he was fixing up the camp. The next tomorrow's exercise, I believe,
Ah,
and
so it wasn't really that important.
and the not quartermaster, Campbell was taking care of the kids, and at the end of the episode, the entire camp is just sleeping in the office while
Yeah,
Campbell's
actually,
stealing
okay.
cable.
Okay, I keep forgetting that these two story plots are connected in the same episode, because actually seeing the Camp Campbell, yeah. After seeing Cameron Campbell care for these kids was actually a really nice piece of character development.
It was.
Yeah, once again better than what we got in Gravity Falls.
Yeah. One of them has a higher budget, and I'm not gonna say which, because you already should know.
Yeah, and I mean, this isn't to say that Gravity Falls, that Camp is a better show than Gravity Falls,
No,
because it's absolutely not.
but there's definitely some aspects that you can learn from this show. If you want to,
There's things that this show does better than Gravity Falls, but
yeah.
overall, Gravity
If you want to
Falls
hear our
is the
thoughts
better
on
show.
Gravity shows are selling. What?
If you want to hear our thoughts on Gravity Fall, we did, 4 episodes on it, kind of. We did one episode on season 1, and then we split another episode into 3 parts and still called all 3 of those parts the same episode.
Cool, I think we're... Oh my god, Ant. Go away.
Yeah. But, what's our next episode?
Hey, Avery. Avery, Camp Loser says what?
Ugh. Okay, so this episode features Jeremy Farts, which automatically makes it an episode that I don't like.
Sadly, he wasn't even, no. Actually, never mind. He's always the worst part of the episode. No matter what he's in.
Jeremy Farts might be the worst part of the entire series. But yeah, so Daniel and the entire... And the Wood Scouts basically take over Camp Campbell. And then... Whoa, Daniel's a cult leader. Let's stop him because he wants to sacrifice everyone.
I
And
didn't
then,
see that one coming.
Yeah. And then, somehow... okay, and then, Neil and some guy from the Wood Scouts, they construct this giant head and make this booming voice and have it pretend to be Zemoog, and tell Daniel to go to Antarctica, which to me feels like it shouldn't have worked, but hey, whatever.
I mean, he's smart to a degree, and they reached that threshold.
Clearly.
Also, I just want to say, cut into our episode, that while I was, looking at all of the description and episodes, this Camp review came up. I just love just how ridiculous. Like, seriously, one of the best shows I've seen. 200% hilarious. 200% not for children. 200% full of fine details. You pay attention. 200 full of amazing characters. The frick are you on?
Yeah, because like this show is only kind of funny sometimes. Because like throughout the season, there's still these pieces of it where the people at Rooster Teeth are just trying to get their actors to say the most fucked up shit that they can, um, to like have it be comedy. There's still an element of that in this season.
I just want to know what the hell this guy is on. Like, that's way too. I don't know the word, but
Generous.
crazy.
But yeah,
Anyway, squirrels.
next episode.
If Camp hasn't had enough things trying to take over, the squirrels fucking won.
Oh, okay. So this is the squirrel episode. Okay, I hate this episode. This is probably the weakest episode of the entire show.
Squirrels take over. And they move Camp. I actually just explained the entire plot of the episode.
And also the subtitles, like, they change too fast for any normal human to be able to read them without pausing. So, you know, that's not great for a viewing experience either. And the whole thing was like, oh, they're taking revenge because the quartermaster killed their king or whatever.
On episode 2.
Yeah, they were better off just leaving that never following up with that. Because it wasn't even a loose end.
I mean, there has been, every instance of a squirrel popping on screen causing a minor inconvenience. You always had that one squirrel, shaking his ass like, I'll get my revenge.
But anyway, what's our next episode?
Oh, the truth serum.
This episode's kind of good. Even if, the idea of a truth serum is a little bit... It's getting to the point where it's getting old.
Yeah.
Like, it's not quite there yet to where I'm completely tired of seeing it. But it's starting to get there.
Actually, didn't Gravity Falls have something like it? Yeah.
I don't recall. Oh, wait, yeah, there was...
the season 1.
There was that whole episode where Stan couldn't lie.
Stan does tax evasion. Well, Stan does tax evasion. Camp Campbell has the moral compass of an Ebola virus.
Yeah. I don't know. I just like the character development we get again in this episode.
Yeah.
It might be beating a dead horse here, but it's still better than a lot of than what we got with Dipper and Mabel in Gravity Falls.
A lot better than cloning.
Yeah, definitely a lot better than cloning. That was just... yikes.
Now we have the forest.
This is the one where David has to survive on his own, right?
Yes.
Alright, this episode is really good. Like, for a second there, they legit had me and I thought David was actually going to kill the wolf. And, Like, that was wild. There was, like, actual blood in this episode, too.
Honestly, I feel like this episode should have been the season finale.
Honestly, it really could have been. And I would have been fine with it.
So I just like the
It,
season finale we got, which was time capsules. But yeah, this could have also been the finale.
but yeah, like, also with the wolf, like, dying at the end of it, that was, that was rough.
That's rough, buddy.
Yeah. We gotta cover Avatar at some point.
Wait, just checking, just making sure it's the same for you. We're at 30 minutes, right?
We are, yes.
Okay, it does not feel like that. To be honest.
Yeah, it feels like, I don't know, 24 minutes for me.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Honestly, going into this
I guess
episode. Sorry, just going into this.
our next episode is the time capsules.
No, we're far from that.
Oh boy, fun.
No, we're at Campfire Tales.
Oh, the not great episode. This is just one of those where it's a bunch of non-canon stories strung together. I kind of tuned it out for the most part on the rewatch, but I remember Space Kids being a lot more terrifying than what I would have imagined Space Kid to ever tell.
Yeah, Space Kid. Oh god, that terrifies me at night.
Yeah, I think Space Kid needs a hug.
I think Space Kid needs therapy.
But yeah, I don't know. I just don't really like these types of episodes where it's a bunch of non-canon stories strung together. Like, Avatar The Last Airbender had an episode where it was a bunch of stories strung together, but they were all canon. And it was one of the best episodes, even if, like, I think 2 of them were filler. And I'm being generous by saying only 2 of them were filler. You could argue that Zuko's was, but I don't. I don't agree with that. But Sokka's and Toph and Katara's absolutely were filler, 100%.
So, I mean, it's hard. You can't exactly say non-canon for this series because, like, well, nothing really matters. Not a lot of things.
I mean, this. Whatever.
Anyway, we have fashion victims.
I actually kind of like this episode. I just didn't like the ending. Because I thought we were going to get some actual character development with Sasha, and we didn't.
Sasha and character development?
Yeah, it kind of felt like we got cheated out of character development. And I don't know, it just made Sasha. In this episode, it kind of felt like Sasha was just a worse version of Regina George.
Also, I feel like way too many ballerinas are having to end up fighting their evil twin for dominance, and then becoming killers for a hire. Right? I feel like that's a problem.
Yeah, I feel like Ainsley was a potentially great character. And also,
Ignore
this
the joke.
episode really makes me want to learn how to make my own smoothies. Like, I already want to, but like this episodes like this keep spiking my interest in doing so.
Okay, our next episode is the happiest Max has ever been. Full
Yeah, that
stop.
tells me nothing.
How can you not remember Party Poopers, the dog episode? Gwen's dad.
Okay. Yeah. On the rewatch, I kind of was not paying attention to this episode at all. Yeah, I remember not liking Gwen's dad that much because it was just kind of another one of those characters where it's like, oh, they're old and therefore they think all millennials are lazy and entitled or whatever.
I don't know. He was. I'm just going based off my memory, but I remember he being at least pretty supportive. Um, that dog was the most important thing to Max in that episode.
But yeah, I don't know. I wasn't really that invested in the conflict between Gwen and her father in this episode, and shit. Okay. The ending was good. I'll give it that. But the actual meat of the episode, I didn't really enjoy that much.
Let me see. Okay, no, we have to do this episode first. We have the panicked room.
I like this episode. I really do. Once again, character development.
No, we don't really see Miss Priss again, and we never will.
Yeah, because we're not getting a Camp Season 5.
Yeah. I don't even know. I don't think... What the hell is Rooster Teeth even doing now?
Ruby, Ice Queendom. Yeah, there's an actual Ruby spinoff that's happening right now that I haven't started watching. But yeah, okay. So regarding this episode, I think it's really nice that like to see a bit more of like Cameron Campbell backstory. That's not just oh he's criminal and dot dot dot. Like see backstory from before he became a criminal, I guess, and like actually see like him and Miss Priss work through their relationship struggles and eventually kind of come back together at the end. I also love that like she brags about having a bachelor's degree. Like, honey, that's not special. Lots of people have bachelor's degrees. To have any kind of bragging rights, you need to at least minimum have a master's degree. But
in the end, they fucked.
Yeah, in the end they fucked. I also love the detail that David is really adept at escape rooms.
Honestly, that really does fit his character.
Like, I don't know. It seems kind of funny to me. Like, what a weird skill to have that is absolutely not useful for being a camp counselor. But hey.
I mean, he did used to be a juggler.
Don't tell me that's our next episode. Or did we already cover that?
Well, it's not up above, so... No, that was the... Yeah, we already did that episode.
Yeah, I don't know how much we said on it, but I just really didn't like that episode that much. You know what? I don't remember talking about it. So
that episode in my stew. Wait, hold on a sec. Now that I think about it, I definitely remember saying Preston, good plays, good play, because that's
I just don't really remember. I just don't really remember saying much about it. But yeah, the whole thing was like Preston was making fun of David, and everybody was laughing at it. And there are several key things that annoy me here. One is that he never faces any consequences for doing that, and then another is that the idea that people don't respond to genuine art because they do. I do kind of like, the thing that Preston says at the end is like, art is only worth making if it's something that you enjoy.
Yeah. But okay.
But yeah. What episode are we currently on?
The butterfly, the Butterfinger effect.
Okay, this episode was kind of odd. Basically, Space Kid becomes Race Kid, and I really don't quite like that name. It it kind of feels like it's trying to be edgy.
Yes, but on the other hand, what? Like, I can fully see Space Kid being like one of those like race car driver, like vroom vroom sort of thing. Like that is definitely his alternate timeline universe self.
Nikki becomes a scientist. Neil becomes Nikki. Arid becomes Neris. Neris, I don't know. She does some instruments now.
Dolph becomes a hedge fund manager.
Yeah. This episode was kind of strange, but basically it involved a bunch of people just switching around. Max gives a speech, they all switch back, and then he immediately redacts his speech. This episode was alright. It wasn't anything super special, in my opinion.
I remember you liking this episode.
Yeah, it was alright.
And then we have the season finale. Time capsules, or I'm just going to call them time capsules, but frick that.
Yeah, they all ended up putting clocks in their time capsules. But I think the big thing with this episode, and I think the main hook, really is the story between Max and Gwen.
Max figures out what instant regret feels like.
Yeah. And there's this whole thing where he has to learn that, like, he basically has to figure out a way to apologize to Gwen, but actually be sincere about it. And
which, if you know Max, that's hard for him.
But yeah, it's some great character development for Max. It's some great character development for Gwen, which, as a character, I didn't really think she would get much.
And Camwell just burnt a bunch of treasury bonds.
Yep. Like, oof. That's unfortunate. And the season kind of ends with an attempted suicide.
Yay! Bonus episode time.
Yeah. Street Campbell's Day. There was a Catholic pedophile joke in the episode. There was a Jingle Bells parody. Was actually pretty decent, even though I don't like Jingle Bells.
Overall, the episode was pretty okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's a holiday special, so what do you really want me to say?
I want you to say that this episode's the best and can never be beaten by any other show. I don't know.
This episode's the worst and has been beaten by every other show.
Damn.
Yeah, there you go. I literally said the opposite of what you wanted me to say.
Though, yeah, I've seen worse shows.
Yes, I have too. Namely Planet Sheen and Fanboy and Chum Chum.
Oh no, I wanted to forget about that. No, I wanted to forget.
Teen Titans Go? Actually, I think that show's even better than Fanboy and Chum Chum, to be honest.
Oh, God. I was actually enjoying my life forgetting that existed.
You're welcome.
And with that, we're done.
Yeah. So, Lily, do you want to? Actually, no. Do not read off our ratings for the past seasons yet, because I need to read off how critics received the entire series in general. IMDb gives this a 7.9 out of 10. Just Watch gives it an 87%, and 78% of Google users liked this show.
I'll let
Okay.
you go first because
No, now you need to read off.
I'm gonna read yours first. So Avery's ratings are as follows: 6.2, 6.8, and 5.8.
And I am rating this season 7.5. It is easily the best season of the entire show.
I had you go first because that I remember we rated it in the same direction. As if I can't remember what I used to rate this, I'm just going to go around the ballpark. So mine seasons were 7.8, 7.8 again, but I intended to give 0.4 to season 1. I just didn't remember season 1. So I'm going to call that a 8.2. And then 7.1 for the third season. I'm just going to go 8.4, call it a day.
All right. So yeah, that does it for Camp. We're finally done. We are never going to have to touch this series again. Woo!
Because there'll never be a season 5.
Yeah. So until next time, I've been Avory, that's been Lily, and these woods are dangerous and full of squirrels.